What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, check this out. So, can we just keep it a buck? I think Hollywood is in very deep trouble. I think the film industry, as we know it, leading into 2024, I think this is a troubled industry. And I think right now, where they're looking at, it's going to be really bad in 2024. It's going to be especially bad. You know, the economy aside, there's nothing that people really want to go and check out in theaters. There's nothing that's just, hey, you got to go and see this in the theaters. Don't wait for Netflix. Don't wait for HBO Max or Disney Plus or anything. Nope. You got to go see it right now. You got to get to theaters. You got to see this movie. There is nothing right now that I'm looking at, and I'll show the list in a minute. Nothing that I'm looking at that's that important for me. A couple of films, yes, but that's really important that I go out and watch and spend my bread. You know, in the light of this very, shaky economy where inflation is just all through the roof, you don't have a lot of disposable income right now to throw it away on some woke crap or just some whatever nothing burger film. You just don't have it like that. And so we got this headline by Deadline here. Domestic box office expected to drop by $1 billion in 2024 amid fewer films and waning moviegoer sentiment. But 31 tentpoles provide hope. Yeah, there ain't no hope for this, okay? This hope they're talking about is really just throwing up a prayer, wishing upon a star. That's about as much good as it's going to do, In my opinion, folks, the narcissism of Hollywood, of the film industry, is finally catching up to them. It's finally catching up to them, and the bill is coming due.
The bill comes due. Always.
So you're going to see the reckoning of the fans. That's what I'm going to call it, the reckoning of the fans. It's going to be ugly, okay? It's going to be very ugly in this box office this year. It's also an election year. 2024 is an election year. So listen, I guarantee you one of these woke idiots in Hollywood, okay, one of these woke cats that got a film coming out in 2024, they're going to make some sort of a dumbass divisive comment, probably about Trump, and that's going to ruin their box office potential because they can't help it, all right? I would bet money on that, all right? One of these cats is going to destroy one of these films because they're going to mouth off about Trump. I can almost guarantee that because that's just the way these cats are. They don't know when to shut up. It's the narcissism. Narcissists think they're right about everything. They don't know how to button their lips up and say, hey, man, shut up. No, my opinion is important. It's the one everybody needs to hear, even though nobody cares, right? So, yeah, that's what's going to be interesting about this. But when you look at the box office, and we'll go ahead and take a look at some of these, I don't know how many of these movies are going to even have a potential of making $1 billion. We had $2 billion films in 2023, Super Mario Brothers and Barbie, and then we had Oppenheimer, which got close. But, yeah, I don't know. Let's go ahead and check out the article. There will be blood at the box office in 2024, and not the type that comes with two studio tentpoles going at each other. Nah, as Barbenheimer showed this past year, that's actually great for business. We're talking the red ink kind, and it will be felt on both sides, studios and cinemas, with the latter sector experiencing a potential collapse come spring among mid-sized circuits due to the erratic pipeline of product. While this year counted 124 wide theatrical releases, opening in 1,000+ theaters, the dual WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes forced a bulk of tentpole delays that are leaving 2024 with only 107 wide titles. See, this is what I was saying, okay? These Hollywood strikes, all right, they cook their own goose. I said this back then, that these strikes, they're destroying the film industry. The California economy, I think they lost somewhere in the neighborhood of $6 billion at a time when inflation is kicking everybody's ass. You can't afford to lose money. You can't afford to have only 107. People are trying to get this thing cranked back up, but it might take a couple of years before they finally get back to where they were supposed to be. In the meantime, again, they said that there will be blood. How much blood is going to be in the water and how many careers are going to be destroyed? How many theaters are still going to be open? It's going to be really interesting. But again, this is what Hollywood did to itself. And look, box office is very important. It's extremely important to Hollywood. The box office is kind of like the scoreboard for the film industry. It tells everybody, look, this film is hot. Everybody wanted to pay money to go out and watch this. You should go out and watch it too. And that's where they get the bulk of their money. Yeah, they got all of the stuff they do on streaming. They can make money for years and years to come. But like when they're spending $200, $300 million on some of these joints, they want to get that money back. They want to get it back immediately. because they got to use that money to prop up all of their other projects. That's why they call them tent poles. It holds up everything. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. Creators abound on the release schedule. 6 weekends currently sans wide entries. And then they give the weekends there. The domestic box office this year, after being plus 21 over 2022 with near $9 billion, is expected to shed at least $1 billion in 2024 to $8 billion, down 11%. That's sad. That's sad. But again, this is what happens when narcissists think that they're running everything with these damn strikes. All right. They thought that they was in control, and now they are absolutely crippling their own industry, and they just didn't realize it. All right, so check this out. You guys have probably already seen this photo kind of being circulated. It's being used by other content creators. And this is like, I guess, the big movies that are coming up for 2024. And look at this list. This is pathetic. This is absolutely pathetic. This is all we're going to get? Yeah, it's probably going to lose way more than $1 billion in the box office. Because I can tell you right now, if it wasn't for the fact that I have a YouTube channel where I cover this stuff, there's no chance that I would see probably like 80 to 85% of these films, okay? Like Night Swim, I might go and check that out because it looks interesting. It's a movie, it's a horror movie, so I might go and check that out. I'm interested to see exactly what it is. Dune Part 2, definitely. The rest of this stuff, maybe Ballerina because it's a John Wick, and I'm a John Wick fan, so if I didn't have a channel, maybe I'll go and see Ballerina. Yeah. Deadpool. Okay, I would see Deadpool. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is interesting. Beetlejuice, I like the way that Michael Keaton was talking about this film. It sounds like they went right back to their roots. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So I might go and check out Beetlejuice based on what I've heard about it. But maybe that's it. You know, I'm not sure about Musical Joker. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I would probably have to wait and hear some reviews from people I trust to say, oh, yeah, it's definitely worth it. Go check that out. You know, I would have to wait for that, you know. And then you got the War of the Rohirrim. I probably would see the Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim, and Sonic 3, you know, maybe. All the rest of this stuff, not interested. Not interested in the least. In total, exhibition sources are projecting 31 movies that could do more than a century size worth of business, basically cracking $100 million or more at the domestic box office. See that list of films below. But don't get excited. Last year at this time, we forecast that 33 movies would click past 100 million, and that number fell short by 10. 3 of them moved to 2024. Dune, Kraven the Hunter, and Ghostbusters. I think Dune and Ghostbusters likely will crack 100 million. That's just my best guess. While the other 7 missed the mark, Haunted Mansion, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Blue Beetle, Trolls Band Together, Wish, and The Nun 2. With Wonka crossing $100 million today, there's technically 22 movies that crossed the century mark stateside in 2023, not counting Avatar: The Way of Water or Puss in Boots, which were leftovers from basically 2022. But yeah, now this is an interesting quote because this is one studio executive that didn't want to, I guess, go on the record and put his name out there. He's kind of anonymous here. But listen to what he says. The issue is what's happening with the audience, says another major studio boss concerned about the collapse in superhero movies this year, exemplified by Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and early November's The Marvels. These are far bigger issues for me. The failures of this year and beyond, coupled with the lack of originality and the need for newness that actually works. The risk is that we're boring the audience with the same old shit. And you're absolutely right there, anonymous studio boss. You are absolutely boring us. And listen, I understand the idea of we don't want to be risky and throw $100 million or $200 million into a movie and we don't know how this thing is going to do because it doesn't have a built-in fan base. It doesn't have an already successful IP that people can say, oh yeah, this thing sold X amount of books. You know, like let's say you bring in a book to, you know, a book series. Oh, this thing already made X amount of money in, you know, in book sales, or this thing is a very popular video game or something, you know. They don't want to sink a lot of money into brand new IPs. And because of that, like this guy is saying, there's a huge lack of originality, you know, going on in Hollywood right now. And this is something that we've talked about constantly. You look at 1984, all right? 1984, I've brought this up. I think I brought it up with EBN, Echo Basic Network. But let me show you guys what 1984 was doing in terms of its top grossing films. Now, check this out. This is the domestic box office for 1984, which, in my opinion, is the greatest year in film ever. No year has ever topped 1984. That's just my personal opinion on that. But I want you to notice here how many of these films in the top 10 are original films and how many are sequels or remakes or reboots or whatever. Okay. Run it down here. Okay. We got Ghostbusters, number one. Got Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, number two. You got Gremlins. You got Karate Kid. Police Academy, Footloose, Beverly Hills Cop, Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, Terms of Endearment, and Romance in the Stone. Now, I want you guys to sit back and look at this. Only two of these joints are sequels, okay? Star Trek 3 and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Everything else is an original title, and this is what Hollywood used to do. They used to come out with original titles like Ghostbusters, all right? And it hit number one. It was the best film of the year, you know? And this is the thing that's really a trip because it also spawned off, its own franchise. Ghostbusters became a franchise. Gremlins, I guess you could say, kind of became a franchise. Karate Kid definitely became a franchise. Police Academy did, and Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah, I think they're making a Beverly Hills Cop for 2024. So you see, like, they used to launch it. Even Romance in the Stone, that had a sequel. And if you go down, you'll see other like big time movies, Revenge of the Nerds, that launched a franchise. It's like, this is the thing that Hollywood used to do. Hollywood used to absolutely put out original content. And that's what this guy is saying. Say, yeah, we've gotten away from the originality. Okay. There's a huge lack of originality and the need for newness that actually works. Okay, you are boring the audience with the same old, same old. So you got to get away from that, Hollywood. But because they have so many woke activists working for them, all of these woke writers, and nobody wants to actually create anymore, they just want to piggyback on an existing franchise that has a huge fan base. Then they want to pat themselves on the back. Oh, look what a great job we did. We brought this humongous giant IP that had millions and millions of fans worldwide. Oh, we brought this to life like they did anything. The IP did all the heavy lifting. The franchise was already well established. All they've done is ruin these franchises. That's what they've done. They've ruined Marvel. They've ruined DC. They've ruined Star Wars, amongst others. And they think they're doing something. They think oh yeah, man, we're the champions. No, you're not. You're the losers. You guys have destroyed your own industry, and now you see this guy saying, yeah, we don't have any originality in this business no more. We need some new stuff that works because people are getting sick and tired of us regurgitating the same old crap over and over and over again. All right, but here we go. Let's look at the movies that could gross 100 million plus at the 2024 domestic box office. We start off with Bob Marley, One Love. I don't think so. All right, Dune Part 2, definitely think Dune Part 2. Same with Kung Fu Panda, okay? I think these two have a big chance. Cabrini, don't know enough about it. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, yes. Godzilla, Kong, yeah, I think because of Godzilla -1 and how good that was, I do think that has reinvigorated the Godzilla fan base, so yes, I do think it will. The Fall Guy is going to depend on word of mouth. I'm going to tell you that right now. If the word of mouth is good, the Fall Guy might take off. Don't know enough about it. Furiosa, I doubt it. I severely doubt that this is going to do anything in the box office. Kingdom Planet of the Apes, yes, I think it will. Ballerina, once again, it's going to depend on the word of mouth. It really does depend on the word of mouth, but I'm going to check it out. I think it might be good. Inside Out 2, probably. Bad Boys sequel, does anybody want to check Will Smith out? I don't know. That's a good question. Quiet Place, Day One. I'm not sure how much more they can milk this idea. The first two, I enjoyed them, but is this a $100 million domestic movie? It's on the fence. In my opinion, it's on the fence. Horizon and America Saga Part 1, I don't know about that. Despicable Me 4, absolutely. Twisters, I don't think anybody remembers this franchise or the original, with Bill Paxton. I don't think anybody remembers this, but if people do and they have a hankering for some nostalgia, maybe. Deadpool 3, definitely. Horizon, also, they have two American Saga. I don't know what the point of that is. I guess, again, if the trailers look good, and the word of mouth is good, then probably. Beetlejuice is going to be one of those, touch and go. I'll probably be interested in it, but will it be able to generate $100 million? Or will people be like, Warner Brothers, yeah, we'll wait for it on HBO Max. It'll probably be on HBO Max for Halloween, by the time Halloween rolls around. That's how people are going to look at that. Transformers 1, I don't think so. I don't think so. And this might be a movie that I go check out, but I don't think it will. Joker, I think Joker will. Smile 2, I do think Smile 2. Venom, yeah. Yeah, it probably will because there is a dedicated group of Venom fans, but I don't expect much out of this. Red One, that's that Rock movie, I think. I don't know. I have no idea what to expect from that. I don't think it's going to do very well. Gladiator, nope. I don't think that's going to do any well. Yeah, the untitled Disney animation feature. What's interesting about this, I was chuckling at this. All right, this is the November 27 release. They always drop one of these joints for Thanksgiving, right? And the last two Disney animated films that they dropped during Thanksgiving, which is Strange World and Wish, neither one of those films made $100 million. As a matter of fact, combined total didn't make $100 million in the domestic box office. So I'm going to say no chance. And then we get to Wicked, Karate Kid, Mufasa, and Sonic 3. Yeah, I think Sonic 3 probably has a very good shot. Karate Kid's going to depend, you know. I know Jackie Chan is in it, and Daniel LaRusso's in there. I think that guy's in there too. So it depends on what they're doing with it. We'll have to see. But yeah, Mufasa, it probably will. It probably will because there's enough Disney stands out there that'll go and rush out to see this nonsense. But you guys let me know what you think. I think, Hollywood is in for hurting come 2024, and I think they're going to lose a whole lot of bread. I think $1 billion down from 2023, I think that's just the beginning, okay? I think it could be even greater because, again, a lot of these films, cracking $100 million, by the way, isn't a lot, based on what they're spending on some of these films. Cracking $100 million plus isn't really that much, But we'll see what happens. You guys let me know what you think about these 2024 films coming up next year. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.